Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the brand new Salamangreat support being released in the Fire Duelist pack coming out later this year. So let's go ahead and jump on into it so that way we can see what new Salamangreat cards we have. My hopes for this is a Monster Reborn kind of thing for the deck, even though yes, we already have a lot of cards that can summon themselves back. This would just, I think, make it a little bit easier to get like your Gazelle and recycle that. But honestly, I don't know exactly what I'm looking forward to in this. But let's just go ahead and jump on in and see what we get. Alright, so starting off, we have Salamangreat Weasel. So this is a Fire Cybers tuner, which is very interesting that we're getting a tuner, so maybe that means we're getting a Synchro monster, but anyway. So this monster is level 3 with 700 attack and 1400 defense. This card says that you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first effect says that if you have 2 more Salamangreat monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. So this card is just pretty much a free extender if you already have 2 Salamangreats in grave. The second effect says that if a Salamangreat Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, and or Link monster or Link monsters is special summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard, you can target one other Salamangreat monster in your graveyard, place this card on the bottom of the deck, and if you do, special summon that monster to your opponent's side of the field, then draw 1 card. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm very confused on why you would want to summon a Salamangreat monster to your opponent's side of the field. I get it, it could be used against something like Kashtira to be able to kind of stop them from being able to special summon one of their monsters. However, I don't understand why you would want to give your opponent a resource if you're not going against it, like Kashtira. So, honestly, this card, I mean, it's alright. Honestly, I'd probably just play it as a one-of. I don't see very much use for this. However, I could be wrong, and if I am, I apologize, and please let me know a good use for this down in the comments. Moving on, we have Salamangreat Tiger. Alright, this card is a Fire Cybers tuner, so we get another tuner. This one's level 5 with 2000 attack and 500 defense. This card says that you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. Which that first effect is you can discard one other Salamangreat card to special summon this card from your hand. The second effect says that if this card you control would be used as a Synchro material for a fire monster, you can treat it as a non-tuner, which I mean, paired with, of course, the Weasel, making this a non-tuner would actually be pretty good. However, that would only get you to a level 8, so we will see. And then the last effect says that once per turn, it can increase or decrease this card's level by 1. So therefore, this could become either a level 6 or even a level 7. I mean, a level 6 or a level 4. So, I mean, I don't really, if we get a good, like, Synchro monster, maybe. But even then, I'd probably only run this as a one-of as well. Again, if I don't know Salamangreat all too well. I used to play it a long time ago. So if you guys see any good use for, of course, this card, then I would love for you guys to let me know down in the comments. Because I don't know everything there is to know about Yu-Gi-Oh! In every deck. So just, if y'all know a good use for any of these cards, just let me know down in the comments. Continuing on, we do have a new Link monster. Oh, there is a Synchro monster, so we'll cover that in just a moment. Right now we have Salamangreat Raging Phoenix. It is a Fire Cybers Link effect monster. That's a Link 4 with 2,800 attack, and its requirements is 2+ fire effect monsters. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is Link summoned using Salamangreat Raging Phoenix as material, you can add 1 Salamangreat card from your deck to your hand. Okay, so pretty much if you use like your Salamangreat Sanctuary after making this to go into this, you can search any Salamangreat card, which is just actually really good to be able to search out like your Gazelle or even your copy of Circle or whatever you really need in the situation. I actually really like that first effect, just being able to search out any Salamangreat card, not just monsters, just any card. It's really good. And then the second effect says that if a face-up fire monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can target one of them and then special summon this card, and if you do, it gains attack equal to that monster's. You could possibly pair this with something else in the deck, but honestly that second effect isn't nearly as good as that first effect, but more than likely if you're going to be using your copy of Salamangreat Sanctuary, then you're more likely to go into your copy of Sunlight Wolf. Honestly, I like this card. However, it's not going to replace Sunlight Wolf anytime soon. But I don't know what to think about this card. I like it on first read. I might have to do some testing with this card as soon as it comes out. I think I might run this in the deck. However, the second effect isn't as good as the first effect. I'm sorry, I did not process something about this card until just now. It says that while this card is in your graveyard, so therefore this card can just keep coming back if it goes to the grave. Of course, you can only use the effect once per turn, but just being able to bring this card back and use it as another material, I was completely wrong about this card. This card is actually pretty good, and I might run 2 copies of it in my build. We'll have to see, of course, with the rest of the cards on here, but after reading it a second time, I actually really like this card, and I will be running it in my deck. Then we have the Synchro monster, which is Salamangreat Burst Griffin. It's a level 8 fire cyber synchro effect monster with 2800 attack and 2000 defense. Of course, its requirements is 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters. So this card says that you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can target 1 level 7 or lower fire monster in your graveyard. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except fire monsters. Also special summon that monster, and if you do, reduce this card's level by that monster's original level. Okay. If this card is synchro summoned using Salamangreat Burst Griffin as material, you can activate this effect during the next standby phase, special summon 1 monster from your graveyard. So, what? Let me reread this real quick. Yeah, I don't think reading this card anymore helps to make it sound even a little better. Literally, it's just a delayed monster reborn that you have to synchro summon using Salamangreat Burst Griffin. And I mean, literally, like, the only use I could see is target 1 level 7 or lower fire monster in your graveyard to special summon it. But honestly, this card just takes way too much setup. It's not really worth it in the end. Honestly, I am not going to be running this card in my build whatsoever. Hopefully we get another synchro to make up for how bad this one is. But, I mean, again, like, I would not run this in my build at all. Continuing on, we have a new quick play spell. This one says that you can only activate 1 card with its names per turn. This card's name is Salamangreat Charge. You can activate 1 of these effects. Target 3 of your fire monsters that are banished and or in your graveyard. Shuffle 2 of them into the deck, and if you do, special summon a 3rd. But this turn, its effects are negated. Also, it cannot attack. Okay, so I do see some uses for that first card, whether that be to recycle your copies of Phalanx that you banished, or even to be able to return, like, let's say an Ash Blossom that you returned off of Heat Leo. So, I mean, this card can be pretty good just to be able to recycle your cards. However, I don't know entirely too much. It might just be a one-of in the deck, because it does allow you to shuffle 2 cards back into the deck or put them back on top of the extra deck. So, I mean, really, it's a good card. But let's see what the second effect is. The second effect says that if you control a fire, ritual, fusion, synchro, exceeds, or link monsters whose current attack is different from its original attack, target 1 card on the field and destroy it. So something like that, of course, you can pair with your copy of Spinny to be able to increase your monster's attack by 500, and then you can just use it to pop a card on the field. Honestly, it's fine. I kind of like the card, but it's, I don't know, something about it. I might run it as a one-of, but honestly, this card is still pretty good. Just being able to recycle your banished cards or cards in your graveyard to be able to put back your materials, like your link monsters, whatever. This card is just really powerful, and it monster reborns. So, really, nothing much more to say about that. One of my main things that I do see about this, that card that can actually come up and be really, really useful, is that you can target your used up copies of like Sunlight Wolf or Phalanx, return them to the extra deck, and then special summon out like a Sunlight Wolf from your graveyard, and immediately link off that one into something else, like into the other Sunlight Wolf, just to be able to activate its effects. Honestly, the more I read this card, I actually really like this card, and it'll definitely be going in the deck. Probably only as a one, as I said, but honestly, it's not too bad. Moving on, we do have the brand new trap card, Salamangreat Revive. You can only use the first and second of this card's name once per turn. The first effect says you can target 1 fire monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And this card says you can banish this card from the graveyard to target one Salamangreat monster you control, and one monster with the same name in the graveyard. Shuffle the second target back into the deck, and if you do, that first target gains attack equals to its own original attack until the end of its turn. Okay, but this is actually good. So not only does it Monster Reborn one of your cards, so therefore you can bring it back something like in the later game. I get how some people could say that this card is bad and it's slow, but honestly, if you're going to be running this, it would only be like a 1 or 2 of. But just being able to summon back your, like one of your, any fire monster. It doesn't just have to be Salamangreat. That's something I need you guys to understand, is it does not have to be just a Salamangreat. This card says that you can banish this card from your graveyard and target one Salamangreat monster you control and one monster with the same name in your graveyard. Therefore, if you use like Sunlight Wolf to go into Sunlight Wolf, you can shuffle that second one back, the one that just went to the graveyard, and your Sunlight Wolf gets double the attack. That is actually really good. I like that card. I see why some people might not like it, but I actually really like it. So going back through here, talking about cards that I could understand, I think that this card could be a one of. Honestly, just the fact that it gives your opponent a monster is not good, unless you're specifically going against Kashtira. But it doesn't like put back just a Cyberse monster. It has to be Salamangreat. So really, that's not even that good right now. This one, just being able to discard one Salamangreat monster to special summon this card from your hand, and it has the level manipulation. It's not too bad. Honestly, I'm probably not gonna play it unless I can find a good use for it. The Link monster is good. I could probably run that as a 2 of in the deck. We just need to completely forget about all of this, because this card is bad. This card, I'm definitely going to be running in the deck. It might be a 1 of, it might be a 2 of. We'll have to see. But I'll definitely be testing with this. And I really like Salamangreat Revive. It's a card that I think is actually really helpful, just being able to bring back your Salamangreat monsters as well as, or just any fire monster, and then just be able to banish from the graveyard to boost your own attack. That's really powerful in my opinion. Not really too much more to say about the new Salamangreat support. But if you guys enjoyed the video and liked the commentary I did, please be sure to leave a like. Comment down below what you guys think of of this set, as well as if you guys are planning on buying it or not. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna trade for the stuff that I need, because some of these are really good, some of these are just really bad. So but yeah, that's really gonna be about it. If you guys want to like explain any of these cards a little bit more and what you guys can do with these cards, be sure to put that in the description of the video or in the comments, because that would mean a lot to me to be able to teach me a little bit more about Salamangreat. Because as I said, I haven't really played it much since TOS format. So really, that's gonna be about it for the video, guys. See ya.